Hey people, I'm Mike Brown from LendEDU, and in this video, we're talking about student loans for trade school. Trade schools, they're practical. You can learn the skills of an electrician or a plumber or a carpenter and go out and land a well-paying job and launch a stable and a secure career. And you can do all of this in far quicker time than it takes to go through the traditional process of a four-year college. But like four-year colleges, trade schools do cost money. And that's why I'm about to go through your options for student loans for trade school. Let's do it! We're first gonna go through federal student loans for trade school. So many trade and vocational schools do qualify for federal student loans. Just check with the financial aid office at a specific trade school to see if they're eligible for federal financial aid. And if they are eligible, you'll just need to complete the FAFSA. It's really no different than applying for federal student loans at a traditional four-year college. The trade school will then review your FAFSA data and put together a federal financial aid package for you to review, which should likely include two types of federal student loans that you can use for trade school: federal direct subsidized loans and federal direct unsubsidized loans. Both part of the federal direct loan program. The biggest difference between federal direct subsidized loans and federal direct unsubsidized loans is that with the former, the federal government covers interest costs while in school and during the 6-month grace period after you leave school or graduate. With the latter, you have to cover interest costs at all times, even while in school, so you will likely end up paying more in the long run compared to subsidized loans. But with both, the current interest rate is 2.75%. This is fixed, so it will remain the same throughout the entire life of the loan and applies to all loans dispersed on or after July 1st, 2020 and before July 1st, 2021. Both also have an origination fee of 1.057% for all loans dispersed on or after October 1st, 2020 and through September 30th, 2021. Neither requires a good credit score as a requirement, and a credit check won't be conducted. Eligibility is based on submitting the FAFSA and meeting its basic requirements. For either, your trade school will determine the amount you can borrow based on your cost of attendance, other financial aid received, and whether or not you are an independent or dependent student. And with either, you do have access to the wide breadth of federal student loan protections like deferment or forbearance, benefits, and repayment options like income-driven repayment plans. So other than federal student loans for trade school, you do have the option of trying to get private student loans for trade school. We just love options here at LendEDU. But with private student loans, they usually come with way higher interest rates compared to federal student loans, in addition to less benefits, less protections, and less flexibility in repayment. And for all of these reasons, it's usually why we recommend only turning to the private market after you've maxed out on federal financial aid. And also with private student loans, you usually need good credit on top of a stable income to not only get approved, but to receive good repayment terms. So you usually need to apply with a credit-worthy cosigner. But, always a but, with private student loans, they do usually come with fewer restrictions in terms of how much you can borrow, with some lenders even offering to cover the full cost of attendance. Full disclosure, at LendEDU, we partner with financial institutions like private student loan lenders and receive compensation from them when we send traffic to their respective websites. And at the time of this recording, LendEDU is partners with the companies you're about to see either directly or through a third party. Some private student loan lenders offer career training loans or loans specific for trade schools or certificate programs. In general, and amongst our partners, you can expect fixed interest rates ranging from around 3% to around 14%, while variable rates may run from around 1% to near 12%. And like I said earlier, these lenders can offer student loans for trade school that are as small as $1,000 to as big as the full cost of attendance. On top of this, I also left a link in the description that brings you to LendEDU's guide on private student loans for certificate programs, which could be applicable to trade schools. There, you can find a couple more private student loan lenders that offer student loans for trade school while also learning more about the qualification requirements and loan terms offered by each. And I left even more links in the description that will bring you to in-depth LendEDU reviews for all of the companies seen so you can learn more about them if you're interested. So when it comes to paying for trade school, you should first always consider scholarships and grants. It's free money. There are even scholarships and grants specific to trade school, in addition to those coming from the federal government or private organizations. And if you do have to turn to student loans, remember to first look into federal student loans and max out those before turning to private student loans for trade school. And besides any of that, one relatively new concept you might want to look into is an income share agreement. So check out that link I left in the description about those if you want to learn more. Thank you for watching. Thank you. And please drop a comment if you have any questions about student loans for trade school. And if you want to learn more, I did leave a ton of links in the description. And finally, please subscribe to the LendEDU YouTube channel. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Subscribe. I'm Mike Brown from LendEDU. Peace.